creativeyatra.com.
You've done 3,000 shows
or more. So this is just one figure that we've come to, but I've definitely done like more than 3,000 shows.
Oh my god, that means, if I look at about 5 or 6 years, then it's almost one every day.
Pretty much, yeah, but it's just the good thing is that I've been doing these since about the past 12 years.
Okay, and
so
you
that adds up. So
my god, and then you sing in Hindi and English also you've sung?
I sing in 22 languages.
22 languages now, this is really too much.
That's a lot, yeah.
So and do you try to, whatever you are singing, you of course know the meaning because somebody has explained it to you.
Yes. Of course.
How do you get the right emotions in?
So I try to make sure I write the exact meaning of the word beneath my script, so that when I'm singing it, so if there needs to be a little bit of laughter, or if there needs to be a little bit of
whatever
in
emotion,
the voice, whatever romance in the word itself. So then I don't want to miss out on those points because that's what makes the song, whatever we listen to. So I like to put in that little extra effort of making sure I have those words right, those expressions right, because eventually when I don't understand the language, but when somebody who does understand is going to listen to it, I want that person to live the song.
Right.
So just as much as I did when I sang it.
So 22 languages means you've sung in all languages
all
of the
Indian languages.
all Indian languages?
Yes.
So like a Malayali and Kannada.
All of that, yes. Kannada,
My goodness. So I think it would be lovely if you can just sort of sing a line. I mean, I want to understand how it is.
One of my Kannada releases, I'll just sing for you. I really like it.
What was the movie or what was the song? What is the song?
The song is this. I'll just sing it to you. So it's basically a very typical romantic song in which the heroine is basically telling the hero that you are the reason my the canvas of my sky is painted with so many bright colors.
Wow.
Something like that.
Okay. You know the language also, or
not the language, I understand.
So how do you remember the entire song?
I don't know.
You don't?
I don't know.
You don't know how?
I don't know how.
I mean, this is so difficult. You don't know the language, you can't speak it, but you remember the song.
Yeah. I think it's probably just that
again some gift.
built-in.
One of the many gifts that you are gifted with.
Okay, I'm gonna be modest.
So tell us a little more. What do you? I mean, you've already done so much. I think we were speaking that the first time you performed on stage was when you were 6.5.
Yes, that's right. I was about 6 or 6.5 when I was first time on the stage.
So that's over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And you are only 22 at a time when people actually start off their careers.
Yes.
But you are already 15 years old in the profession.
Ahead of myself.
So now there is still the world. Your life is your canvas.
Exactly.
And what exactly are the plans now?
I have been projecting myself in a lot of different directions, which I have always imagined myself to do, or dreamt of doing, which is more individualistic work. Like we always learn about artists from the Western countries as people who make it on their own. I'm planning on doing this one project which includes EDM, includes Indian classical music, but in such a refined form and in such a differently projected version that it doesn't sound like the typical classical music that we have been listening to over the years, yet
Right.
not losing the real essence of it.
So not really fusion,
Yeah, not fusion.
Not fusion.
Not fusion at all. So
keeping the tradition in mind,
yes.
but with some variations
Exactly.
that are good with time,
Exactly.
accepted
That's
well with time,
pretty much that.
and maybe a little more of technology thrown in.
Quite a lot of technology, because when it comes to EDM, it's
Right.
all about
Yes.
arranging music and programming music. So that is all done on one small screen through two really great hands and one mega mind. So
Right.
I think you need somebody who is so very much into music
Yes.
themselves that they would be able to give out their soul into that
Into it.
particular track. So this includes EDM, classical, folk, definitely Indian folk, because India has so much unexplored folk that we could make so much out of. Because
And you
that's
actually
our
know all of
origin.
it, right? You've done
I
you know
wouldn't
about
say all of it,
folk.
but I
No, I mean, you
try
know a
to
little
know
bit
as
of
much
folk
of
and you
it
know,
as I
yes.
can. Yes.
Okay.
So, but the explored folk forms would be Rajasthani folk or Gujarati folk, which is Garba as we know popularly, or it could be Punjabi folk. So these are the more explored forms of Indian folk music. But there's Baul music in the Bengal
Yes.
that you could play around with.
Was it something you just scribbled in your diary and it came out?
Not exactly. It was a matter of need.
Okay.
Sort of thing. So me and Parth Thakkar, the music director of Mangamtu, we jam all the time together. We're
Okay.
really close friends, so it makes it much easier. So we were sitting one day and he was like, okay, I'm making this composition ready and I want some amazing lyrics on
Lyrics.
this, but
Oh.
I've been trying to ask different lyricists, but I'm not getting the thing that I want for this song.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
he's like, Aishwarya, you should write. And I thought, okay, yeah, nice. Now we're going to make fun of me because it's a good day, bright sunny day. So now you're going to make all the mazak. Mera udalo, jitna udana hai. And then he was like, no, I'm serious. You should write. And then I was like, अच्छा चलो ठीक है, try करते हैं. So we were all sitting, and honestly, in just about half an hour, I penned down the entire song, and it just happened.
From what I can gather is that you and your mom, or rather you and your parents.
Yes.
In fact, if I'm not wrong, your mom is with you almost
All
always.
the time, always.
Really always.
Always,
Okay.
yeah.
So is it when you go abroad or wherever you go, is she
Wherever.
always with you?
Always with me. It's a kind
And you've
of
never felt that it's sort of like children would say, it stifles their creativity or they are not able to experiment. Do you not face something like that?
Well, I believe you would need space in life.
Well, that is
when
fine.
you can't really, when you haven't been able to find yourself. So what happens is, it's all about parenting, as I'm sure you would agree with me. I've had a bond with my parents, both my mother and my father, such that I have never seen in a lot of people who I've met, and it's a big number.
Because I'm sure a lot of other parents as well as children would like to know how to be able to coexist and want to coexist together, rather than be thrown in a situation where you have to be together with your parents and you want to be together with your parents. There is a difference.
There's a difference.
In
yes.
yours, it is the latter. You
Yes,
want to be
I
with
want
them.
to be together with
So
my parents.
what are those one or two things? Why is it so?
I don't know if I'd be able to explain this in the best possible way, but from what I understand, as a baby, I have had, they've talked to me, they've been with me the whole time, and they've
Communication.
there's a lot
There's
of
been communication.
constant communication, and I've never felt, honestly, I've never felt like it's a situation where you feel too many emotions at one time. I never felt like a child. I always felt like a child. I'm a grown up before I knew it, and I've never grown up.
Right. I know. I can really sort of understand what you're
I'm
saying.
sure you can relate
Yes,
to what
yes,
I'm
yes,
saying.
yes,
It's
absolutely.
a situation which you can just
Two
not
extremes together.
explain. Yeah, it's two extremes together,
Together.
in the best balanced possible
Best
way.
balanced
Now,
way.
I really don't know how to strike that, but
No, I think you've put it across the best way.
yeah,
It really is. And I think also another thing is that when it's not much about space, it is about when there is a good
There's an
sync of understanding.
yeah.
A good sync and good understanding
And
between
it's
parents and children.
Also, रोकना नहीं होना चाहिए बहुत ज़्यादा, but
टोकना भी नहीं होना
टोकना
चाहिए.
बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन सही जगह पे रोकना, सही जगह पे
टोकना
टोकना
is
होना बहुत
important.
जरूरी है.
In short, that balance,
The balance.
that fine line.
Yeah,
In
and
short,
then,
you have to know that fine line.
Pretty much, and then eventually you also have to understand that it's two different generations.
Yes.
So what my mom always says is something that I really think is the smartest way to put it. She says she is generation yesterday and I am generation tomorrow.
Right.
So tomorrow can actually not go into yesterday. But
So just
the
understand
yesterday
your roles.
yesterday can at least try to be in today, if not tomorrow.